So not much has happened since we last spoke. Yeah, the dollar's more or less still in the same position. I was speaking a lot about the break above that resistance level. And yeah, we were holding as support. I mean, we still are holding it as support, so nothing's really changed in that regard. Dropping to the 4-hour chart, we haven't really ripped away, which is the key thing. We did see a lot of momentum on Monday, and since then it's just been really, really flat. So it's not really a strong sign that the buyers are really coming back into the market. Otherwise, we probably would have made a move to the upside by now. We saw that initial momentum, and price kind of stagnated, and we're looking very sideways. And as a whole, price action here is just very, very corrective. Not really seeing much momentum to the upside, so I do think eventually we're probably going to see the dollar roll over back to these lows and further. Whether we're going to roll from here or we're going to push up maybe a couple more times and then roll over, that's of course difficult to say. But I would expect us to push back these lows. My expectation is very much still that all this momentum here on the left is still alive and well. The market's kind of correcting itself and about to roll over. If we do crack through support here at 103,800, so if we do break through the low here, then I'm expecting us to just push back into the low. So there might be some nice break and retest opportunities or breakout opportunities beyond that point to trade the dollar back into the low, maybe buy euro up or buy pound USD up, depends on the market you're looking to focus on. But yeah, had that initial momentum. Looks like this kind of area supply is holding very well. So probably didn't see a push back into support at this point. We just didn't really have the momentum to break through. So dollar not looking too hot right now. Again, I still do have those levels on the daily chart, which I would like price to pull back into. And we still could do that. So I'm still going to keep one eye on these two levels, because if we do get there, I do think shorts will look good, and we're looking at some really impressive swings back into the lows and potentially further as well. I'm still overall bearish on the dollar. I've just been expecting a bit of a pullback, and we have seen a bit of that. But it looks like we're starting to really, really struggle now with the USD. In terms of EURUSD, so of course we're kind of seeing the same situation really as well, which is we broke through support here on the left. Price is holding on to that as resistance. I'm still looking at a deeper retracement for euro. I still do like these levels here on the daily chart, prior resistance there on the left, and also this area here as well looks really, really good for some buys. And I was looking for price to respect this price support, turn resistance, and use that as resistance for a push back down. So that's very much be my expectation for EURUSD. And we have seen a bit of a reaction, nice push down initially on Monday, then Tuesday we got a bit of follow through. But again, looks like support is holding, and overall the market's finding it really, really difficult trying to see some downside. So we might see euro push back up again after all of this rejection. Might see euro push back into the zone, and we'll see what price can do, whether we respect it again and potentially have a bit of a sell, or we break straight through. In that case, euro is looking pretty bullish, and we're expecting a push back into the swing high at that point. A break above 1.05, I would be very, very bullish on euro, and this would then be the higher low, and then we're looking at another higher high, or at least a test of the prior high. So EURUSD kind of giving us the same information as the dollar. We've seen a move down, just very, very corrective, very fatiguing. Haven't really seen much momentum coming to the market. So if this keeps up, we're probably going to push to the upside. We do have some resistance to break first, and if we can break through that, then you're looking at a very bullish euro. And if, of course, we can break through the dollar support level, you'll be looking at a very bearish USD. Going over to pound USD, same situation as well. Seeing a bit of downside, but overall the market's still very, very flat over here. Not a lot to take here from price action on pound USD. Jump to the daily chart, just a lot of consolidation. I do have some really nice levels below, which I would like to see a retest of. So you got 1.28 there, 1.27. Both really nice confluences for some longs. Of course, we had a lovely bullish trend for a while. We've broken through some structure on the left here, and has left behind some really nice places for a buy. So I do like the upside here for pound. Just need to see the pullback really. And of course, with all that consolidation, I was kind of hoping we would break the downside, find support, and then push up. But we'll see. I don't really have too much to say about pound USD. The price action is pretty much horrendous right now, so I wouldn't really be looking for any opportunities within this unless you're just looking to buy low and sell high. You might find some nice opportunities up there and down there. Otherwise, I would avoid trading the middle of that because there's just a lot of speculation, not a lot of consistency in the price action, apart from it being ranging. So yeah, I would avoid that with pound USD. Still bullish, still looking at the same setups, just no kind of clear opportunity just yet. In terms of dollar CAD, we were very bullish at one point at the start of the week, but yesterday we came crashing back down and price rejected resistance in the low time frames very well. We have come back into support, so it's going to be interesting to see what price does now with dollar CAD. Do we respect support again, or do we break through? I've been particularly bearish with dollar CAD, looking for a big swing to the downside after coming into that weekly level. Actually, if we go to the monthly, probably see it better. Right at the top of these wicks here, we came back into these areas, and you can see we respected it again. So I've been looking for a bit of retracement for dollar CAD to come back into resistance here, come back and retest support. So that's kind of what I've been looking for price to do. It's been taking its time, but it does look like it's slowly coming into play. I don't really have an opportunity to trade it just yet because, of course, we're coming into some heavy support right now. We've tested this on numerous occasions, and it's held very, very well. So again, if dollar CAD does break to the downside, I'm kind of waiting for price to clear support first, and then, wrong tool, clear support first, and then I'll look for some opportunities for a pullback and continuations. At the moment, nothing just yet. I know it was a very strong move to the downside yesterday, really nice move, but we're just coming back into support again where we could have another push to the upside. So the shorts are still pretty much premature for now. Aussie dollar, we've seen some strength for Aussie come back into the market, NZD come back into the market. Overall for Aussie dollar, it's still very, very sideways behavior, not a lot of clarity. Weekly chart as well, not really showing us a lot of consistency there. So I'm not very eager to trade Aussie dollar just because it's a bit more choppy. One key note though is that we did break back above this level here, and we did it very aggressively as well. So I wonder, was this a bit of a fake out to potentially put another higher low in and potentially see another push back into resistance up there, maybe some new highs as well. I'm not really looking to buy Aussie dollar until we can clear the highs here first, because if we can clear the highs there, then that tells me that there's probably a trend in play now. Something like this. So we got the push, pull back, more high lows, and then maybe a buy. Something like that could look good in a few days or a few weeks. So something like that could look like a nice buy. But the key thing is with Aussie dollar, we did break back above that support level. So I would suggest in the lower time frames, there could be a nice trade back into the high there. If you can get a pullback that looks something like this, that could be a nice little trade back into the high, because that's your fake out. And now price is broken well back into the range, back into support level. So now that will be turn support again. So a retest of that would give you a good chance of catching some nice buys. And then you've got resistance just above you, which would make sense to take some profits on. We could go a lot higher as well, but depends how aggressive you want to be with the trade. But yeah, Aussie dollar, strong break to the downside, a lot of momentum, all of that completely reversed. So we probably will see a push at least back into resistance there, 0.632. Ends the USD, same situation here as well. Did break to the downside out of that consolidation. I said some retest will look good here on the retest of that level. But yeah, price just came crashing through as a slight rejection on the hourly chart, but that just did not respect at all. Next candle just broke straight above. I think that was during the Asian session, yeah, 2 a.m. and the market has just been flying since then. So that was a failed break and retest there for the USD. And again, is that potentially another higher low printed? We've got one over there, second over there. Is price printing a third one? I would say we do kind of have the characteristics of it, where we've impulsed down, impulse back up. So I would suggest something like this for the USD could actually be a decent buy opportunity. Again, at least a push back into resistance. if everything goes well, possibly a pushback to the high there. I think that's still a bit of a long shot for a target, but if you can secure some profits here, you can leave some positions to run, see if you can hit those bigger targets. There's nothing wrong in doing that, but I'm looking at these lows here. Really strong push down, strong push back up, strong push down, strong push back up, another strong push back down, big wick there, another strong push back up. This is looking like a characteristic of a higher low forming, and now that we've got some support again, that could be a nice retest for a long, and perhaps a push back to the high there at 0.58300-ish. So that's something I'll look at there for USD USD. In terms of gold, so gold being still bullish, has it? Yeah, still more or less bullish. I mean, yesterday it was down on the day actually. We did have a bit of retracement, but overall the market's still pretty bullish. I still like the possibility for the retest of the high here. It's been a very healthy breakout, so if I can have a nice long corrective pullback into that area, that would be a nice opportunity for a swing position, perhaps back into the high at 3150, maybe even a lot further than that. At the moment, in terms of gold, if we scale to the lower time frames, looks like we're coming back into some consolidation here on the left where price tapped into strong reaction. We're back there again. Now it's not actually a bad time for a short, but again, when you're looking to short gold in this current climate context of the market, the fact that we're bullish on pretty much all the higher time frames, you want to keep it short and sweet and not overstay your welcome. So this does look like a nice play for a short, but as soon as you start coming back to some areas down here, look and take some partials or some profits or trade a stop loss. And of course, if price does look like it's about to turn, you probably want to exit that trade. Because if you do clear the resistance here, so price breaks above the high there, then most likely we're just going to continue back to the high at 31.47 there. So if you're looking for some buys, I'd wait for resistance to break here. You can even buy on the breakout. It's not really the worst idea for gold. The breakouts have worked out pretty well in these conditions. A strong break of that level there probably would take us back to the high, so buys look good. For now, since we're holding that area pretty well, I do like the shorts back into 31.20, 31.18 we'll call it. We could go a lot further as well. Potentially this could be the start of the retracement. But again, you want to be a bit more conservative when you are shorting gold in these conditions here. Because gold can be unforgiving at times, especially to the sellers. So gold shorts are actually in a nice place, a bit more aggressive trades, counter trend, so take that into consideration, but it's in a nice area as long as price can hold that consolidation there. You can see we had that slight pause there with that bullish candle on the 4-hour chart, and then of course all that momentum came through. We're now back there again, so as long as price can respect that, it's a nice place for a short and a nice place to put a stop loss above as well. In terms of silver did see a bit more downside. I was trailed out of the longs for this one. Was it yesterday? No, it was a Monday. I was trailed out the longs for this one on Monday. I've been debating, looking for some re-entries. Nothing kind of clean has set up just for me. I was looking at the retest of the consolidation here. It kind of broke below, so I didn't really like that bearish candle on the 4-hour chart, which just kind of put me off the trade. I like the wicks that we had previously. If this candle was just a big wick, I probably would have entered the trade. I mean, it's looking pretty bullish now, but I'm just not a big fan of the entry right now, especially in the 4-hour chart. 8-hour, maybe 8-hour could look better in about 3.5 hours time. Lower time frames, wasn't really a fan either. So I've stayed out of silver. I'm still very bullish on it. I do think price is just on its way back to the high. I'm kind of hoping we might pull back a little bit deeper again, possibly back for another retest of the high on the left here, which is kind of what I was hoping for yesterday as well. So this is kind of where I bought from last time. If we can come back and retest that, that would be great. Have a similar stop loss with some similar targets as well. So yeah, silver looking bullish. It would be nice to see something like this happen. One more sell, test around 13.2, 13.3, then see if I can swing it back to the highs.